Good morning. The COT data video for the week beginning the 26th of January 2026. We can see the QDB score changes from last week, and we can see the dollar CAD was the greatest mover for a sell. Now we got to remember that the macroeconomic fundamentals that happened over the weekend with Trump and Canada. He's threatened a 100% tariff on Canadian goods, which is massive. It's absolutely huge. So while we're going to talk about like the COT, and we're going to talk about the non-comms positioning, we have to remember the fundamentals. Okay, so that's a big deal, right? So even though that's going to be signaling a sell, that's probably going to reverse for tomorrow because of those fundamentals. Okay, so the largest mover for a buy was the Euro USD and the Pound USD, the dollar CAD for the sell. So we come to Discord. We're going to download that, and then we're going to come to the folder, and then we're going to right click it. We're going to properties, we're going to unblock. Okay, that's because it's got macros in the file, and then we can see what's what. So I won't make this one a long one because we can talk about fundamentals, but you just have to keep an eye on X, keep an eye on Twitter, and then you can see what's going on. Double click. Oops. And we'll just see what's what. Yeah, that's fine. Oh God. Yeah, that's fine. I don't like that message. It's a bit annoying. Let's go to the chart page. And Euro has ticked lower. Move chart. New net non-comms. And then we can have a look. So if you remember last week, I was struggling to get the data because of the date was in the way. We can get rid of that by getting rid of the axis. Okay, so we can actually see the data now. Right, so we come from, we know these are all, this is a weekly time frame. Okay, so that's easy. So we come from 162,000 to 111,000. So this was going to be a resistance. We are below the zero line. That's just, you just know that there's a zero line there. Okay, that's like the bull bear divide, and this is probably under a bit of pressure because of the the Fed funds rate and like forward guidance from Powell. He doesn't really want too strong a dollar because it sends a lot of strong signals, all those sort of fundamentals. That's the reason for the slightly softer dollar, and they're trying to crush it and trying to get those yields down as well. So they're both in descent, which doesn't really help too much, but that one is in the clearer descent than the dollar. We've got FOMC this week as well. Yen. We're just gone slightly higher, just slightly, minus 45 to minus 44. So it stopped on its tracks. Will this be the bottom? We don't know. We do know that's a support. We know that's a support. So this may be fake. We'll have to wait and see. It probably makes more sense that we break that low, perhaps, and then we could maybe rally. We could probably maybe want to take some stops out, on the yen futures. But we had weakness, and now it stopped its weakness in its tracks. But how long is that going to last? Is this going to be a temporary thing? You're going to have to look at the fundamentals, like I said at the very beginning of this video. What is the Bank of Japan going to do? And if they're going to hike, then we're going to pump, okay? So, maybe that's a signal, a sign of reversal. We have to wait and see. Aussie on, Euro off. Australian dollar's higher. Minus 14,000. We may go positive. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, so there's AJ long for the crossover. The big fish, the non-comms, they've been buying the Aussie and they shorted the yen at that point. So that was the AJ buy then. Okay, in the past we had the crossover. Okay, Aussie off, pound on. and likewise GJ. We're going higher. We've got resistances up here, and we've got that level that I mentioned last week. See that low? We've got that low now. So if you look at the pound USD chart, we are trending higher. We did maintain a level on the daily. If we closed below that, it would have been quite bearish, but we held that low. We do have some UK data out this week, so we've got to keep an eye on that. We've also got local elections. We've got contention around the leadership, where Westminster are actually going to look to get in a replacement for our PM, and that's going to create a lot of uncertainty around the pound. It might be good for the pound, it might be bad, because it's to do with the certainty, uncertainty, that sort of principle. So we're going to potentially have a new leader, and then, it's going to be a big deal. So maybe this might continue lower. We'll have to wait and see. You may have seen the reaction in the pound USD around the number 10, the Downing Street, the replacement PM. And that came out in the news, and we had a big 50 pip move within an hour. So that may happen again. The UK gilts are very sensitive to the UK PM leadership, because obviously, it's about, the future and how his relationship with the central bank and things like that, and his policies. So it's it's going to be an interesting week for the pound. It may go lower. We have got quite a bit of resistance over here. We've still got that one to overcome. We've got these to overcome as well. Pound off, CAD on. Like I said about the CAD, if Trump does go through with the 100% tariff, which is going to be unlikely, for one, he'll walk away, or he'll chicken out. Two, it's too catastrophic for Canada to go ahead, so they're going to have to rescind their deal with China. So it may just be okay for the Canadian dollar, but it would be a disaster if they did continue with their deal with China, because the 100% tariff is destructive for the Canadian economy. So it looks like they're going to try and get a deal. Canada and US will get a deal, and then it'll be happy days again. It won't be so risk off around the CAD. So it's going to be bumpy, this one on Monday, but then that deal will be made, no doubt. Okay. And Trump likes to make his deals, doesn't he? And he likes to chicken out and walk back as well. He likes to threaten and then walk back, and then he gets a good deal. Gold is, positive, and to be honest with you, we could probably be looking at silver as well on this, but what silver's doing, it's really, really, really pumping. There's massive demand for it right now in the world, like gold. And when there's excessive demand for a product, it doesn't matter what it is, there's going to be a demand for it, and of course, price is going to go higher. When you've got a limited supply and you've got an increase in demand, it pushes price. Okay, and there's only obviously a limited amount of silver and gold on the planet. So, of course, if there's more demand for it, price is going to shoot higher. I see that people are really bearish on gold and saying how, we should be topping out, but that's a bit crazy, because you could be saying that about the Dow Jones 10 years ago, 20 years ago, we shouldn't be up here. We just breached 10,000 on the Dow Jones. Look where it is now. So just be careful. Don't try and guess tops. All right, try and go with the flow. Try and trade with the trend. Okay. And it has been positive for the longest time as well. New Zealand dollar, and we are just range bound, but it looks like we may be breaking that low, -55. -49. So maybe next week we're going to get out of this range bound nonsense, basically, with sideways. Break that, it's going to be really interesting. We're going to have some weakness in the New Zealand dollar. So that's going to be of note. And then we can look at Swiss franc, and then that'll be it. And sideways. Likewise with Swiss franc, we need to break 49 and the 43 now. So there is lots to talk about the sheet, but it's going to be a long video. To maybe just quickly look at the bubbles, perhaps, uh, and their long dollar, yen, CAD, pound, and euro. They're short New Zealand dollar, Swiss, and Aussie. So that's a really interesting combination, and that's an interesting combination as well. We've got risk on currencies buy, we've got risk off currencies sell, but pound and euro. So we're going to have quite a lot of fluctuations with the GU, GJ, EU, EJ. Obviously, CAD's going to do its own thing. It's probably going to be a little bit of a curveball to trade on Monday. So we'll have to see how we go with that. I'll be updating you guys in the Telegram. Remember to join our signals as well, because it absolutely pumped. We did really, really well on our signals, and this is completely free as well. So I'll wrap up now. Have a great weekend, a great Sunday, and I'll speak to you guys soon.